Somewhere in a house right now, a $20,000 robot is folding laundry, and a stranger might be controlling its hands. 1X calls it Neo, a humanoid built to live in your home. But before it learns your habits on its own, someone else may be watching through its eyes right now. And that changes what autonomous really means here. This isn't a concept video or a trade show demo. Neo is shipping to real houses through 2026, priced like a used car and marketed as a live-in assistant. If robots like this become normal, the line between a helpful machine and a monitored home gets blurry fast, and most buyers won't fully realize what they've agreed to. The 1X Neo robot comes from a Norwegian company called 1X Technologies, backed by OpenAI, and it's built specifically for the home rather than the factory floor. Most humanoid robots you've seen, Optimus, Atlas, Figure, are designed to prove they can work. Neo is designed to prove it can live with you, folding laundry, loading the dishwasher, tidying a room. Here's the surprising part. A lot of that home intelligence is still being taught in real time by human operators sitting behind screens, guiding Neo's hands through tasks it hasn't fully learned yet. Most robots that can lift 70 kilograms don't exactly feel safe standing next to. Neo is trying to be the exception. Instead of rigid metal actuators, it runs on tendon-driven joints wrapped in a soft polymer body, closer to how a human arm compresses and gives than how an industrial arm slams into position. There are no exposed pinch points, which sounds minor until you remember. This machine is meant to work inches from your kids or your grandmother. The Neo robot specs put it at 66 pounds and just under 5'7", built to move through a house without ducking through doorways or squeezing past furniture. It runs at 22 decibels, quieter than the refrigerator humming in the next room, which is either impressive engineering or slightly unsettling, depending on how you feel about not hearing a 30-kilogram machine walk up behind you. Most people assume a home robot's biggest risk is a task going wrong. The real risk 1X had to design around was presence, a machine strong enough to lift you, existing quietly enough that you might forget it's there. Specs on a chart are easy to skim. These are worth pausing on. Neo can run 6.2 meters per second over 22 kilometers an hour, faster than most humans jog. It can lift 154 pounds and carry 55 of them across a room, with each hand moving through 22 degrees of freedom, more independent motion per hand than most industrial robotic arms have in their entire structure. That's what most Neo robot versus Tesla Optimus comparisons miss. It can grip a wine glass and a wrench with the same hand. No tool swap. The trade-off is battery life. 842 watt-hours gets roughly 4 hours of runtime, thin, until a 6-minute fast charge buys back about an hour of work. So Neo isn't built to run all day unsupervised. It's built for short, precise, high-value bursts. The laundry, the dishes, the one task you were dreading. Then it plugs in and waits. Factory floor humanoids optimize for stamina across a shift. Neo optimizes for trust in a handful of tightly scoped tasks, repeated well inside a space where mistakes cost more than a dropped part. Neo can lift, grip, and move like something built to work alone. Which brings back that question from the start. If it's this physically capable, why does 1X still need a human quietly guiding its hands in your living room? Here's the part 1X doesn't put in the marketing copy. Neo runs on AI built for audio intelligence, visual intelligence, memory, and autonomous navigation. On paper, a robot that sees your kitchen, remembers where the plates go, and figures out the rest. In practice, a meaningful share of Neo's early home tasks are completed with help from a remote human operator, sometimes called an expert pilot, watching through the robot's cameras and stepping in when the AI isn't confident. This is common across early consumer humanoids. Figure and Apptronik use similar teleoperation to train models faster than autonomy alone could manage. But most buyers picture a robot quietly learning on its own, not a live stream inside their house that a stranger occasionally operates. Neo's privacy documentation does address this, with options to limit camera access during certain tasks. Whether that reassures you depends on how you feel about the space between smart and supervised. It also raises a fair question about the humanoid robot or home category. How much of what looks like autonomy right now is really a person on the other end, quietly doing the job the marketing says the machine already does? Now, the number that started this, $20,000 outright, or $499 a month in select markets, roughly the cost of a used car or a phone plan stretched over years. That price only makes sense if 1X can scale production, and the company says it's targeting manufacturing capacity for up to 250,000 units of key components a year, with consumer deliveries ramping through 2026. That's not a research project. That's a company betting the humanoid robot for home market is about to become real spending, not science fiction. And the teleoperation question isn't a side note to that bet, it's central to it. Every task a human operator completes on Neo's behalf becomes training data, teaching the AI to eventually do that same task alone. The remote pilot isn't a permanent feature. It's a scaffold meant to disappear as the model improves, which means the honest way to think about Neo isn't autonomous robot. It's robot in training, using your house as the classroom. That reframes the price tag entirely. You're not just buying a machine that folds laundry today. You're subsidizing the real-world data 1X needs to eventually remove the human from the loop. So here's the answer. Yes, the robot folding your laundry may genuinely have a person on the other end, at least for now. Not because 1X is hiding something shady, but because that's how every early humanoid gets smart enough to eventually work alone. The uncomfortable part isn't the teleoperation. It's that most buyers will never think to ask. For a while, you're not just welcoming a robot into your home, you're welcoming a stranger with a headset. If you want the real story behind humanoid robots before the press releases clean it up, it's here. Every humanoid robot company is racing toward the same finish line, a machine that learns fast enough to make the human operator unnecessary. Neo is one of the first to bring that race into actual living rooms, which means the next few years won't just prove whether robots can fold laundry. They'll prove how much supervision autonomous is quietly hiding. Neo isn't the only one racing toward that finish line without telling you how far it still has to go. If you know someone who's already planning to buy one of these, send them this before that $20,000 robot actually arrives.